Thank you, Steph. Okay, after some technical glitches, Ottawa's new COVID-19 financial support program, basically the new CERB, it is now back up and running. So you can again apply for the financial support. Many were unable to process their request online when applications were opened yesterday. The Canada Revenue Agency says that the problems, they have now been fixed. The new Canada Recovery Benefit pays up to $500 per week for up to 26 weeks for those who have missed work or unable to work because of COVID. You can now apply through the Canada Revenue Agency. All right, with the long weekend now history, there are a whole bunch of new restrictions that you may notice to stem COVID spread in Toronto, Peel and Ottawa. So the province ordering the rollback of some reopenings last week in a bid to slow COVID spread in this second wave. Indoor food and drink service in restaurants, bars and other establishments, that's now off limits. Indoor gyms and fitness centers, they are closed, as well as casinos, bingo halls and cinemas. Wedding receptions are also banned as of today. The order will remain in place for 28 days, but may be extended if needed. So we may see a spike in cases today since numbers were not reported due to the holiday yesterday. Toronto's Associate Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Vanita Debay, she's going to be joining us at 8 o'clock this morning. We're going to talk about the situation here in the city, as well as all the new rollbacks that are currently in effect. I want to bring this story to your attention now. A 13-year-old girl is missing from Mississauga. Police are urging residents, please keep your eyes open for her. This is Milena Bergen. She was last seen yesterday at around 5:50 p.m. near Whitehorn and Britannia Road West. She is 5 feet tall, 90 pounds, with purple hair. She was last known to be wearing a black AC/DC shirt, shorts with gray and white stripes, and a small brown leather backpack. If you have any information, please contact Peel Regional Police. A Toronto mosque remains closed this morning after receiving violent threats on Saturday. And now the National Council of Canadian Muslims is calling for the federal government to step in to combat violence. In a statement, the council says in part, we need action now from the federal government to develop a national action strategy on dismantling xenophobic groups that preach violent ideologies of hate and violence. We are dealing with threats to murder members of the Toronto Muslim community en masse. It's not clear which mosque received the threat, but it did apparently reference the Christchurch mosque attack in New Zealand that killed 51 people. Toronto police are investigating, and this comes just 1 month after Mohammed Aslim Safis was stabbed and killed outside of a mosque in Rexdale. Let's get to the U.S. now. President Trump making his return to the campaign trail after officially recovering from COVID-19. The president now testing negative for the virus. And this was the scene. Packed rally in Sanford, Florida last night. The first of 6 this week. Trump repeatedly spoke about his bout with COVID, telling his supporters he is the healthiest he's ever been and will give them a fat kiss. The rally came just a week after he was released from a 4-day stay at Walter Reed Hospital. But despite Trump's bout with this virus, his supporters say they are not worried.
It's great that he's coming out to still support, even though people thought he was going to fail. And it just shows that he's a strong leader, that he's out here.
I'm not concerned. I've been working all the time, ain't got no COVID. I take vitamins, I eat healthy. I just ain't worried about it.
And in Georgia, early voting began with a high turnout, but also massive delays. Some residents waiting for 5 hours to cast their ballots. At least 300 voting machines were facing technical glitches at the state's largest voting arena. Early voting continues today. Over 10 million votes have been cast in the U.S. ahead of the election, which is 3 weeks away, November the 3rd. And a second presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden has been canceled. And this comes after the commission announced that the debate would take place virtually due to Trump's recent COVID diagnosis. However, Trump refused to take part in the online debate. Both candidates expected to hold town halls instead. The third debate, scheduled for next Thursday in Tennessee, it is currently still on.